Amalia.
So,
I have the best story for you. Okay. So, I was in my advisory. So, there's this guy that sits behind me, right? And, what's your issue? Okay, anyway. So, there's this guy that sits behind me. And he's always throwing shit at me. And the other day I turned around and I'm like, what the hell are you doing throwing shit at me? I mean, this is getting stuck in my hair. My hair, okay? It takes me like 4 hours to condition and moisturize it, and you're throwing shit in it. You know what? And then he's like, well, I just wanted to get your attention because you're uber cute. And I'm like, oh my god, he said uber? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, well, everyone calls me beautiful, so get it right. And he was like, well, I still think you're uber cute. And I'm like, oh my god, shut the fuck up, because I'm not uber cute, I'm uber beautiful, if anything, okay? You get my gist?
yeah.
Okay. So, and then he was like, well, I think you're uber cute. He said that like 10 times. It was so cute. And he was like, hey, you want to go to a movie Friday? And I was like, well, I don't know. And then I waited like 2 seconds. I counted in my head. And I was so proud of myself because like I remembered how to fucking count. It was like 1, 2, and then I was like, oh, just kidding, I'm free. And he's like, good shit. I was like, yeah. So he gave me his home address, right? Because like I'm not like a telepathic wizard, princess wizard. I'm not a telepathic princess wizard. Wouldn't that be so cool though? Oh my god. Okay, so he gave me his address. Oh, he texted me his address. Back to normalcy. Okay, so apparently he texted me his address, which I really don't understand because it's numbers, not a dick. Anyway, so can you please move? Can you please move? Get out of my camera view. Oh! Yeah, okay. Okay. So, my mom gave me a ride because I'm not legally allowed to drive yet. Because apparently you can get, like, arrested for that. So, yeah, I'm not illegally allowed to drive. So, my mom has to drive me places like I'm 5 years old, even though I'm, like, 10. And anyway, so, oh my god. Okay, so he gave me his address, and we drive to the house, and my mom parks outside, and she's like, don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'm like, what? Get high and get pregnant all at once? And she's like, haha, you're cute. And I'm like, haha. So anything but that, right? Yeah? Okay. So she's like, yeah, that's good. Whatever. Just don't do that. And I was like, okay. So went up to the door and gave a little knock knock. But you know what happened? Will you stop laughing? This is not funny. This is my personal life. This is my happily never after, okay?
Happily never after?
Ever after. Oopsie. Okay. So, I go up to the door, and I knock on it. And no one answers, and I'm like, what a fucking little pussy. I can't believe he gave me the wrong address. But then I hear someone calling my name on the side of the house, and I was like, why do they know my name? Because, 1, I've never been here before. 2, I don't even know if I know these people, because no one's answering the goddamn front door. Anyway, so I go to the side of the house, and I look, and there's, like, a balcony. Like, what kind of guy has a balcony? I'm so confused. Is this guy gay? Is he leading me on? Because I don't know. Someone help me out here. Anyway, so there's a fucking balcony there. So his head's peeking off the balcony. Like, I don't even know. He's like wearing some kind of cape or something. Anyway, so he's like, yeah, we don't use the front door because the people, we don't want them to know we live here. And I was like, okay, very understandable. We have the same problem at my house. You know, it's like... She has laughing issues. You see, before we came here, she got one of those balloons and popped it and let the helium go through her head. And now she's like fucking crazy. Anyway, so. Oh, we don't let people use our front door. And I was like, oh, understandable. Like, we call an exterminator when there's like mice or no, not mice. Ants, when we have an ant infestation. This makes no sense. Sorry, I got off topic. Okay, so he's like, yeah, just use the window. So I open the window, and no, before I go in, he comes out of the window because he's helping me through the window like a gentleman would do. And anyway, so I'm halfway through the window, and I realize I'm stuck. I'm fucking stuck in the window. I'm stuck in the windowsill. My butt is stuck in the windowsill, okay? And he's out there. He's like, damn, girl, you have a nice ass. And I'm like, excuse me. Oh, thank you. But, like, I'm like, seriously, can you, like, get me through this? And he's like, wait, let me get a picture because it's, like, your butt in a frame. And then it will be, like, taking a picture of the frame on the phone, then taking a picture of that and then putting it in a frame. So, like, I was like, oh, my God, forward that to me. And I can, like, print it out and put it in another frame. And I was like, holy shit, this is amazing. So, he did it. And I have it. And I'm not going to show you guys because it's uber embarrassing and my butt looks super huge. Like, oh my God, where did you get that butt? And, yeah. So, we get inside. I don't like big butts. I have one. Anyway, so, we get inside and he doesn't get stuck because he has a small ass and, ow, you just smacked my big butt. Anyway, so he has a small ass, so he gets through all perfect. And then... Okay, so he's like, oh, you want to look around my house? I'm like, yeah, okay. Can you, like, stop touching my hair? That's really gross because your hands are nasty and I know you don't wash your hands after you go to the bathroom. Okay, so he's like giving me, okay, shut the fuck up. Oh, my God. I'm such a bitch in this video. Okay, so.
In this video, no, you're a bitch.
Oh, my God. I can't believe you just called me a bitch, you little hoe bag. Okay, anyway, so. He's giving me a tour of his house, and I'm like, oh my God, you are so adorable because you're giving me a tour of your fucking house. And I realized that his house is kind of dirty, so I'm like, do you want me to call a cleaner place? And they can probably get here in like 3 or 2 years. And he's like, fuck yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, really? So I call them, and they're like, oh, well, we'll book you for the 4th of November in 2015. I'm like, score, man! Hopefully I'll know you by then. Anyway, so... Will you stop copying me? It's really throwing me off guard because you know I can't do this while you're copying me and I know you're copying me. Don't make me push you off the bed. Okay, that's what I like it. Okay, I'm seriously gonna smack you. Be right back. Okay, hi guys. Okay, so he's giving me a tour of his house. And all of a sudden, he kneels down on one knee. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, I realized, like, he's doing something with my shoes. And it's kind of weird. So I ask him what he's doing. Like, at first, I'm like, oh my God, he's going to propose. And this is our first date. Like, how adorable is that? Don't cry. Okay, so. You're back? Seriously?
Yeah.
You want to keep the comments to a minimum.
Okay.
That makes no sense. Who does that? Seriously. Okay, anyway.
You just did that 5 times.
Okay, so, oh my God. So, I'm like, what are you going to propose? And he's like, no. And I'm like, awkward. And he's like, no, I'm just buffing your shoes for you. And I'm like, buffing? You're buffing my shoes like a computer buffs its files? I'm so confused. What is going on? And he's like, spitting on my shoes and wiping it with his hair. I don't understand. He has his head down there. Looks like he's like licking my shoe. I don't know what's going on, but I think it's kind of cute in a really, really awkward way. And then so he's like, well, I could propose if you wanted to. And then I got all like smiley and shit. And then his mom walks in. And I'm like, she's like, who's the skank in our kitchen? And I'm like, oh my God, who's the bitch in the house? And I was like, I forgot what I was like, but it was something like, you better shut the fuck up. And she was like, oh my God, no, you shut the fuck up. Anyway, so she's like, this better not be your girlfriend. And I'm like, oh, believe me, I'm his wife now. So then all shit went down. But the fact is that, sorry, my mind is going crazy right now because this is like the perfect fairy tale ending. Anyway, so there was like this awkward silence after the bitch fight when shit went down. You know what I mean? Anyway, so there was this fight. And then, oh yeah. Can you stop telling me what the story goes? You weren't even there. You weren't here. You weren't there. Okay, so, and then a whole bunch of, okay. So, I slapped the mom. She died. Okay, then we got married, and then, 2 years later, we were happily married with 2 kids. We were reading a story, and then all of a sudden, we all died because the rabid roaches ate us to death. It sucks, doesn't it?
It does.
By the way, I'm not a bitch like this in real life.